Welcome back everyone, my name is Eltimar and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2. We met Wall in the last video. We have gotten it to agree to come to battle Aethys with us. I am going to... found this recipe for the invigorating nightmares and immediately thought of you.
Dumb gravels think need new drugs. Something stronger, something uglier.
Squinting down at the parchment, Drowsy Puke nods and begins combining ingredients. He sprinkles the mixture onto the nose of a passing rat and chuckles merrily when the creature stiffens into a ball and dies.
New drugs ready for sampling. Sleep well, idiot.
Drowsy Puke leans in and kisses your forehead. We can do light snooze. We just oh man, there's some really good buffs here. What else can we do? Oh, we can actually buy characters here. Apparently they have pre-made ones as well. I wish we could just buy level 20 characters though. I like our current group just fine. At the store we can buy... what's a Wall's Wind? Huh. Can we buy anything good in terms of food? Not really. We can rest here though. Anything... I guess that light snooze is not bad. Plus 10% max health, plus 10 will, 5% resistance against spells. That's pretty good too. Or... just resistance to resolve afflictions. You know what? Let's take it. We might as well rest over here. We're gonna head out. We're gonna go to Kaizo again. I'm going to just jump to anything that's changed. Depending on how long this video is, I may just add it to the end of the last one. Oh, the last one's already 40-something minutes long, so I think we'll probably just do this in a separate video for the new ending. For now, though, I have a bit of a walk. Oh, no, I don't. What am I doing? I'll just jump cut to when we get to Kaizo. See you guys shortly. We have reached sort of the end part of Kaizo. You descend into the ancient winding streets of Kaizo. Battered by storms for thousands of years, the ruins bear the marks of their role as the lone witnesses of the god's great secret at the center of the city. The houses and boulevards are pierced by great spheres of luminous Audra. There are no ashen bodies, no birds, no sign or sound of any life. With every step, the rhythmic pounding in the distance draws nearer. Soon you can feel the vibration traveling up your spine.
As you approach the center of the city, the weathered architecture gives way to more luminous Audra, piercing the ruins, eventually overtaking them entirely. Cresting the top of a fallen tower, you finally get a clear view of Aethys. He stands, legs astride, next to a great stone monument ringed with 11 cavernous alcoves. All but 3 hold a gargantuan skeleton, bones scrubbed clean by the city's storms. An immense Angwithan machine floats above the monument, suspended by invisible energy emanating from a well of light beneath it. Great brass rings spin around a core of metal and Audra at the machine's center. Periodically, Aethys's massive arms swing back. The movement alone is enough to draw great gusts of wind toward him. When they come down on the machine, the impacts are accompanied by eruptions of electricity, fire, and smoke. The hundreds of luminous Audra pillars across Kaizo sympathetically dim in a rippling wave that spreads out from the machine. The only safe route to the god is a steep ascent along a monstrous pillar of luminous Audra. Intertwined with fragments of Kaizo's ruins that it has carried through the centuries, the pillar bends in a long arc, towering above the machine. The pillar levels out near Aethys's head, a silent observer to the destruction of the machine it has grown beside over thousands of years. You weave your way along a treacherous rain-slicked path up the pillar's skyward side. As you arrive at the top, you catch Aethys's attention. Fist pulled back, he pauses to observe you. With the same gentleness he showed at Ashen Maw, he lowers his arm and turns toward you.
To see Kaizo in this way. It may be hard to picture, but this city was once full of life. The Huana, yes, but also Kith from many other cultures. Great hanging trees shadowed these boulevards. Gardens sprawled across the open rooftops. Each spring, a festival procession would wind its way from the hillside into this valley. The celebrants would pass through a steep walk among the stalls of foreign merchants, flowers falling upon them from all sides. All people of all nations, together in a celebration of new life. Such was the power and beauty of lost Ukaizo.
This isn't right. You can't put this burden on us. You can't make the gods' problems our problems, our responsibility to fix. How can you have faith that what you're doing is good? You know how many people are going to suffer because of this. No matter how you spin this, you can't set it straight.
Adair, I wish I could explain it to you. It breaks my heart that I cannot. But no matter how much you curse me, do not despair. The souls of this world will need people like you. Lights burning brightly in the darkness to come.
Ukaizo's corpse is beautiful, my god. This, its current state, is but one spoke in the ever-turning wheel of life and death, and so no less worthy than its incarnation at birth.
Jyoti waves her lantern overhead like a beacon to draw her god's attention.
But you seek to break that wheel. I beseech you, Gon, that when you do it right. Burn to ash every Audra root in hell so that it may never regrow. Let the darkness reign eternal.
It saddens me that the harvesting of souls in my name has brought you to this place, Jyoti. But I am the cause, and I must take responsibility for it. I can only hope that after I am gone, you will see there is a brighter future for mortals. It is a future that you can help shape, even if you cannot see it now. But what of you, Watcher? Why have you followed me? Have you come to bear witness to the breaking of the wheel?
I've come to fight you.
You weren't expecting me to back you up in this, were you?
Watcher, there is no fight to be had. If you seek rest, I can take your soul from you, though it would be a strange and tragic end to your journey.
No, you're right.
Why have you really come?
I want you to go further than breaking the wheel. I want you to destroy it all.
The Watcher understands what must be done. There is much blood to be let, and more tears shed if Eora is to be healed of its current blight. Destroy it all. Put us out of our centuries-long misery.
I've heard you say some crazy things in our time together, but that just about beats them all.
No, this is Remergon's doing. You cannot believe this is what is best for us, Watcher. Why would you ask me to do such a thing?
Entropy is inevitable. Why prolong this cycle when you know it'll overtake us in the end?
The cycle cannot be denied. Death and decay come for all, whether or not the wheel is broken.
Even if a final death is inevitable, life is still worth living while we have it. No, Watcher. I will not succumb to despair. I will not let you corrupt my purpose for being here.
Aethys pauses frozen. You sense a struggle in him, a guttering candle flame in a sea of light. The moment passes. You sense that the candle has been extinguished, more flames around it flickering and dying out, though Aethys does not seem to notice.
I must attend to my final work now. I cannot delay any longer. You have carried a heavy burden across the Deadfire, Watcher. Before I go, I would rid you of it.
No sooner have Aethys' words entered your mind than you hear one final dissonant ring of the chime within you, then silence. The knot that formed when the pallid night first addressed you in the beyond is now gone.
You are free now. As free as any of us can be. Many will come to you for help in the years ahead. Animancers, priests, even the gods themselves. I have great hope for you. But always remember that your future is for you to decide. Use your freedom well.
Aethys squares himself to the machine. As you move to a safe distance, he draws his fist back and resumes his assault. The blows rain down with increased fervor. But the machine perseveres in spite of his efforts. Spreading his arms wide, Aethys draws power from the luminous Audra clustered around the valley. The energy courses through his body, limbs overflowing with intense light and waves of heat.
You perceive the presence of another colossal gathering of soul energy nearby and recall the agreement you reached with Wall in the halls obscured. But can one rely on a pact struck with the god of mysteries and deception? Do it, Wall. The ground shakes beneath you, or perhaps your stomach quakes from a deity's spiritual caress. Regardless, you have attracted the divine attention of Wall. I'm sorry at this, but you forced this to happen. Long, muscular tendrils erupt from the fog-shrouded ruins, lashing at Aethys' Adra torso and twisting about his limbs. The tentacles, each studded with 1,000 eyes, constrict around their prey. Thunderous cracks rend the air, and light spills out from fissures spreading across the statue of Maros Nua. Aethys grabs at the fleshy extremities, crushing one in each hand, but Wall's myriad arms are undeterred as they constrict, and the living titan drains vast rivers of souls from both Aethys and the machinery of Ukaizo.
You never deserved Aora, our dear misguided brother.
Wall purrs, drinking in all the essence around you. Aethys falls upon the ancient Anguithan machinery, grasping it in a final struggle to tear the device apart. Ribbons of a bright energy fountain from the crumbling structures. The ruined city quakes as Wall drags Aethys to the ground. Well, that's new. Maros Nua's body finally grows still, a shattered colossus devoid of light. The tendrils of Wall slip away, leaving you amidst the rubble of Anguithan machines. Priests and mystics have strange dreams of an island of living flesh, an eye that never closes, and a library filled with blank books. And though Aethys fell, his death accomplished its goal, to rend inoperable the machinery of reincarnation. Unless Kith develop an alternative, Aora is doomed to die. And while Maros Nua lies crushed to Kaizo, the gods look on the labors of the Kith. They do not intervene. They watch and argue, wager in conjuncture at how or whether mortals will solve the puzzle set before them.
Under Ferrante's guidance, the Principi Sen Patrena lay claim to Ukaizo and begin the difficult work of nation building. They establish a formal government around the Consuelo Mes Casitas, and learn to cultivate and trade for the resources they once seized and stole. Their neighbors in the archipelago are initially reluctant to accept them, but given the ample protection that Andra's Spire affords Ukaizo, they have little choice. The Valian Trading Company and the Royal Deadfire Company continue trading in the region, though they're now forced to pay tariffs to the very pirates who once robbed them. Rauatai enjoys a respite from the storms, though the Principi's control of Andra's Spire remains a constant threat. Demoralized by the loss of Ukaizo, the Huana tribes fragment further. All of Queen Onikaza's work to unify her people falls apart, and foreign traders openly flout the decrees of the Kahanga crown. The mysterious deaths of Governor Clario and Storm Speaker Ikawa provoke hostilities between the Valian settlers and the Huawan residents. What starts with angry words escalates to retaliatory killings as each side blames the other. By the time anyone bothers to question the strange coincidences surrounding their deaths, including reports of a cloaked Omawi woman seen in both the port and the village, both sides have gone too far to turn back. As the conflict tears both the village and the town apart, many people, Huana and Valian alike, drift away in search of other opportunities. Many find themselves among the newly empowered Principi. After the violence they've already seen, piracy doesn't seem so bad. As the balance of power changes in Deadfire, so too does Nekataka transform. Pirates, smugglers, and other criminals flow into the city, openly flouting its laws. Largely forgotten amidst more prominent concerns, the Gullet continues to be a miserable place, especially for those Raparu who flee to Nekataka seeking a haven amidst the turmoil. For them, the Grand City is a promise cruelly broken. The loss of Skiarilifus's essence weakens the Water Shapers Guild. Their power wanes and their influence fades. The art of water shaping survives as an arcane curiosity. Your brief encounter with Letharn, proves deeply influential for the children of the Dawnstars. Plagued with nightmares and haunted by the deaths at Hesongo, Letharn begins questioning his faith in Aethys. At first, his fellow Dawnstars chide him, but that changes as word of Aethys' deeds at Ukaizo spreads. After all, what business have they worshipping a god who denied his own legitimacy? The faith of the children of the Dawnstars fades, but their commitment to the people of Deadfire does not. They continue feeding, healing, and helping the neediest, just as they have for decades. It is no longer a holy mission, but it is a mission all the same. Ruanu, the chieftain of the Huana at Tikawara, dies mysteriously. The tribe finds his body washed up on the same beach where Anaharu challenged him to the trial of waves. Some blame Anaharu's vengeful spirit. Others see it as Ngati's final judgment. And a few speak of a strange man seen lingering in the village. The leaderless tribe eventually scatters. Some head to Nekataka, while others seek out the Wahaki. To the misfortune of many, a group of slavers remains entrenched on Crookspur. While they profit off the misery of Kith, no one is able to stop them. Ships continue to disappear at the southeastern fringe of the archipelago, and stories circulate of a colony of vampires and gulls preying on their crews. The dragon, Neraskirlas, no longer passes between Aora and the White Void, and the dead flow slowly breaks apart, exposing the temple long frozen within. Under Halfjorn's guidance, the Harbingers of Dusk resettle within Remergon's temple, vowing to forever protect it from the defiling touch of outsiders. Over time, the group becomes increasingly reclusive and fanatical, attacking any who dare approach their holy site. In besting the Beast of Winter, you earned the Death God's mercy rather than his enmity. The deity remains characteristically unforthcoming about his decision, and you're left to wonder whether in doing battle with him in the White Void, you somehow furthered his apocalyptic ambitions. Once repaired, the Adra at the primal island of Kazuwari again pulses with the flow of soul essence between the here and the beyond. The feral life on the island flourishes, the jungles and veld growing ever wilder and resistant to settlement and exploration alike. The faces of the hunt continue to rule the Crucible and Gallowain's, or rather, Tawamawai's name. The trials summoned by the statue grow deadlier with each season, until only those rare few willing to brave the gravest of dangers seek out the bloody ordeals of Kazuwari. Like the other souls following in your wake, Muatu eventually yearns to move on to the beyond and the wheel. Stymied by Aethys' actions, however, he settles on returning to Kazuwari, where he joins the choir of souls that echo throughout the Crucible.
There's no narration here, so that caught me off guard. Released from their bondage to the sightless eye, the Vithrak of the Halls Obscured abandon the Black Isle and resettle in the deepest and darkest recesses of the ruins beneath Nekataka. Sisak and his colony remain secretive and isolated, however rarely interacting with those Kith crawling about in the sunlight above. Following its intercession at Ukaizo, Wall's Titan vanishes again into the sea. In the years that follow, you occasionally sense an impossibly vast shadow fall upon you while gazing into the in-between, a deeper darkness in that already dark place. You wonder if, by reuniting Wall with their body, you gave the god of mystery access to the one realm once obscured to even their sight.
Though your adventures alter the destiny of Aora and the balance of power in Deadfire, they also leave a lasting mark on those who travel at your side. Your companions find themselves changed, in ways both big and small. Adair returns to Hesongo, where he reunites with Byrne, the son of his former lover, Alava. The boy takes heart in Adair's account that Aethys and all the other gods were false, petty, and unworthy of the love of Kith. Realizing how close he came to dying for this cause, Byrne finds renewed purpose in working alongside his uncle to repair the many scars left upon Deadfire by the gods. Under Adair's guidance, Byrne grows into the kind of irreverent, stubborn hothead that would have made his mother proud, and Adair visits her gravesite, often to tell her so. Shodi is not a priestess who understands the meaning of subtlety. As such, she makes her girlish crush on Adair painfully obvious from the moment she first sets eyes on the strapping fighter. Early in your travels, Adair appears discomforted by her persistent flirting. He often grimaces when she sidles up to him, and he takes endless pains to keep their conversations terse and to the point. But after a little smoothing on your part to nudge them in the right direction, Adair makes an effort to view Shodi with an open mind. And Shodi begins teasing the veteran fighter in a more companionable and less amorous manner. After saving each other's hides a couple times and sharing more than a few laughs, the two form an easy, and you suspect, lifelong friendship. Plagued by constant nightmares and hallucinations, Shodi becomes increasingly disassociated from reality. Meanwhile, her power continues to grow with every soul she harvests. You start to notice sliced up animal corpses everywhere you two travel. But when confronted about it, Shodi stomps her feet and fiercely denies any wrongdoing. Then, one night, Shodi wakes, but never leaves the nightmare. Shivering uncontrollably, she packs up her belongings and slips away into the darkness, murmuring that she must return to the Temple of Gon in order to fulfill her purpose to her god. But she never reaches the temple. None of the Dawn Stars know what's become of her, aside from disturbing rumors of a harvester ravaging the southeastern islands in the Deadfire, leaving a trail of blood in her wake. If Aloth has learned one thing from your adventures, it is that the forces shaping the world are vaster and more complex than he had ever imagined. And they are far beyond anyone's power to control. Thus, it is with great relief that he sheds Theus's mantle. The leaden key will become what Kith need of it in time, assuming they have need of it at all. Pleased with the Navy's conduct throughout the Deadfire campaign, Maya returns to active duty. She can find a free drink and a sharp salute anywhere she goes in Rawatayan territory. In recognition of her performance, the Navy attempts to give Maya less strenuous work. She flatly refuses, throwing herself into the fray whenever she can. Her rifle never has time to cool. Though Maya's covert assignment in the Deadfire is considered a success, few claim knowledge of it or openly congratulate her. She receives no praise beyond knowing glances or the occasional raised tankard from her countrymen. She never responds. There's never enough free time to explore your mutual connection. Something about your bond feels unfinished. But as your paths diverge, you start running out of reasons to see each other. In your presence, she's always armed with a pleasant smile and lots of questions. Her embrace is full of warmth. If there isn't time now, someday there might be. She looks forward to seeing her brother again. So does Ashiza. Tekehu distances himself from the problems of the Deadfire, giving the tribes a reprieve from godlike omens. Ngati's silence speaks volumes. The Huana grow to rely on each other, paving a new way forward divorced from their traditions. Soon after his departure from Neketaka, sailors report of mountainous water sculptures rising from the open sea, entrancing and salacious. These works are celebrated everywhere, from the brothel to the palace, though the identity of the artist remains an open question. Your farewell is short and cordial. Nothing further needs to be said, and you wish each other well. Tekehu does not look back. The sea feels restless in his absence. Your pursuit of Aethys and your journey to Ukaizo signal the end of forces that have shaped the lives of Kith and the course of nations. The cycle of reincarnation has been broken. The storms of Andra's mortar have calmed. Yet each ending promises a new beginning. As the sun rises over Ukaizo, Kith turn their gaze eastward, wondering at what lies beyond, and at the world they will fashion for themselves. As the Watcher of Cadnua and the former Herald of Bareth, you return to your ship and begin the long journey home. You hope for calm weather.
I think that is the actual full ending with all the DLC stuff in it, so that's also going to end our Pillars of Eternity 2 Let's Play. It was a pretty great game, I have to say. Some of the fights in the Forgotten Sanctum were really tough, like ruthlessly tough. Going back to Ukaizo was super easy, actually, comparatively. The fights there were basically a joke compared to what we faced off against before. I really didn't even have to pay that much attention to them. So, I guess we're gonna wait for Pillars of Eternity 3 for the next one in the series, if there is one. Who knows? I don't know if they're making a Pillars of Eternity 3. I'd like them to. I would also like them to maybe optimize the game a little bit more, but we'll see how that goes. It was a really good game. I really liked 2 out of 3 of the DLCs. I really liked Beast of Winter. I had a lot of fun with it and I thought it was really cool. And I really liked Forgotten Sanctum a lot, the atmosphere. And even though I was annoyed at the encounters were pretty cool as well. Seeker Slayer Survivor was not my favorite DLC, but otherwise, I had a great time in this game. I'm gonna leave you guys here. Like I always ask at the end of a series, if you enjoy the content, please subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you all next time. Take care.